Alright guys, we're locked inside. There's not much we can do. All the gyms are closed. We don't have any gym equipment. Well, most of us don't. But we do have this. We have our 2 legs. And we can use those legs every day. Rain, shine, snow, sleet, tsunamis, tornadoes, pandemics. Alright, maybe not the natural disasters, but basically, guys, we could run every single day. Every single day. If you're just interested in getting out there and starting to run but don't know how, as a beginner myself, I can definitely give you a few tips on what you need to be doing if you're thinking about going for a run a few times a week, if not every day. You should think about going every day. No, but seriously, running is great and I think everybody should be doing it. And here is my video on how I began running, the mistakes I made, and what you should be doing. Quick little background story of how I got into running. After I got shoulder surgery, I couldn't do much weightlifting or anything, so my doctor said I could start running, and basically I started picking it up from there. The mistakes I made were I ran in Air Maxes the first time and destroyed my Achilles and my knees, and everything was hurting. So I got myself a few good pairs of run shoes. Another thing that I did mistakenly, I guess kind of sort of, was that I was running mileage instead of going for time. But I was keeping it short. I would run like a mile and then add another mile, and then add another mile, and then let me see if I could do 6, 8. And then finally, I signed up for a full marathon. Then I was on a program, and I was running for real. I was running up to 40 miles a week, and that's where things kind of got more of, running isn't just to pass time, running is more of my new hobby. That's a little background story of how I got into running less than a year ago, and yeah. Alright, as I sit here and get my coffee down, I just wanted to go over one thing that I think is very important before going for a run. That is having a little something to eat, and if you prefer, like I do, having some type of caffeine drink. Now, I'm not saying have a Thanksgiving Day meal. I'm saying maybe have a banana and a scoop of peanut butter, an apple, anything, an English muffin, half a bagel, something like that. But the reason is you want to have energy in your run. Of course, it depends on how far you're going to be running. Or since you're just starting to get into it, I'm sure you're not going to be on your feet longer than 20-30 minutes tops. The reason for that is after running for a certain duration, your body's going to run out of a source of energy. So you would need to do an intra-workout nutrition and be all on that. But we're not going to get into that. That is something to think about down the road. Alright, shoes are on. Now it's time to go outside and warm up. So that's where I'm going now. Wait. One more important thing. Now let's go. Wow, guys, and it is beautiful outside. I'm very excited to shoot this video today because there's some gorgeous weather. I've been inside all day. Finally, at one of my favorite parts of the day, and that is when I go on my run. Alright, so if you're thinking about going for a run, then you should have some type of warm-up routine. I'm going to go through my warm-up routine. It's quick, it gets to the point. I'm just loosening up the joints, especially the ones that I'm going to be using, like my knees, ankles, hips. I'm going to get all loosened up and then go on my run. So when you're first starting out your run, you want to be going nice and easy. You're not trying to sprint out the gate. You're just trying to find some rhythm, get control of your breathing, and then once you feel warmed up, that's when you can start picking up the pace. But definitely, at least the first 5 to 10 minutes, just go easy. The first mistake a lot of people make, that I made myself, is that you want to run out and run a specific mileage, but the best thing to do is go for time. So when you're going out for your run, aim for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You want to see how far you can make it on your feet. It is a good technique to do run, walk, but when you're beginning, your best bet is to get it where you're running non-stop. Now when it comes to running shoes, there's a lot, and everybody is gonna have their own preference. My top 5 preferences would be Hoka, Nike, New Balance, Asics, and Brooks. All these shoes would be great, especially for road running, gravel, sidewalk, all that. Some people may want to run on treadmills. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do prefer you run outside. I mean, look at outside. It's gorgeous outside to see nature, the trees blooming in the springtime. Outside, you're able to auto-regulate your heart rate. You're able to auto-regulate your pace. On the treadmill, it's really hard to do that. Not that anything's wrong with treadmills. Sometimes I would run on the treadmill when I was prepping for the marathon. Just because of the beat down on my joints, it's actually a little better to run on the treadmill. Also, if you like the gym atmosphere, it's okay to run on the treadmill every now and then. As a beginner, I advise that you try to get outside as much as you can. You pick up your rhythm better, you're able to adapt to your steps. It is much better to start outside. Look, you're not always gonna have motivation. In fact, most runs, I'm not motivated. But when I get out there, I go for the run, and 100% of the time, I never regret it. If you're really lacking motivation, some things I do is go on YouTube, look up some runners, or sign up for a marathon, sign up for a race. It doesn't have to be a marathon, obviously, but signing up for a race, it'll get you out the door, it'll force you to run. Getting started is gonna always be hard, but once you get that first step and you're going, there's no turning back. You're out the door, you're already on your run, and you're not gonna regret it. My whole point is get out the door and go for a run. Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be crazy. Pick a duration for your run, get out the door and start. Remember, keep it simple. All right, let's talk stretching. So static stretching should be done post-run. Just because if you did static stretching before the run, there's more likelihood that you can get injured. You want to be loosened up. After the run, you'll be nice and loose, and you'll be able to lengthen the muscle by doing the static stretches. And let's face it, we're not going to stretch, especially as a beginner, you're not going to stretch after every run. But that was a mistake that I made, that I should have stretched more, especially in the beginning. So I advise that you try and stretch at least 2 to 5 minutes after a run. Just a little bit of static stretching will go a long way. My last piece of advice is to please go out there and have fun with it, okay? You're not trying to run a marathon under 2 hours. Remember that. You're just trying to get an extra activity in, especially in times like this where you don't have much else to do and you might have even lost your hobby. So picking this up, remember, start easy, make it fun, and keep it simple. All right, guys, I'm gonna go eat. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.